Detour.
5:35.
Okay. Great. It sucks.
Okay, so the first thing we have is to review and approve the minutes from 6/21/23. You weren't at the meeting, but you are welcome to read through them, but I don't think you should sign them.
No.
And I did take them from the video. Just, I know I wasn't here either, but I took them from the video.
That's what's left of the sheet. The goat. Somebody ate 3 goats the other night. Fuck the intestines.
When did this happen?
Monday night.
Think that's not mental?
Never heard a word. I mean, the goats were there with the sheep and the llama. And I think it was, that big bobcat that's up hanging around the area. Oh, either that or a long lamb.
Oh, man. That's unbelievable. Thank you.
Probably in the future, make like 3 copies,
Okay.
so we each got one.
Sure.
Save a little time.
Yeah.
Actually, 4 copies.
you. Alright, and now we have, the documents to sign. I have July payables. There's 2 bills on there, one for Vision, that's the assessing software, and then one for CAI, which is the mapping. One's an annual bill and one's a quarterly.
That one doesn't work that well.
I got pens.
That's some on the counter.
Okay.
That'll work? Yeah.
Put that in our budget forecast.
I also have some motor vehicle excise warrants and commitments for you guys. We just put in commitment number 2023-04. It's the 4th commitment of this year. It doesn't go out till 8/1, but I wanted to get the commitment and warrant signed ahead of time, just so they're ready for Mary to issue the bills. So there's 2 pages and then I have the backup on it. And then just as like a housekeeping, I couldn't locate the 2023-03 commitment and warrant. It was signed before. I can't find the wet copy. So I'm just requesting that you guys sign a new copy so I can make sure we have the proper documents, and I do have the commitment book that goes with that as well. This one's binded, but I didn't have the binded one earlier.
Nice pavement over here.
Hmm?
Nice paving.
Yeah. And late too.
Think we ought to send the people to the traffic control school.
Yeah. Well, they've got a long day.
Like that in the morning, it don't matter.
No, I'm just trying to, trying to give him a deal here. Billy's still on the deal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
the last document I have for you guys to sign is the fiscal year 2024 chapter report. It is all the applicants who met all qualifications. We actually had no denials this year. I got this done today. I figured the best way to do it was to put it all on a spreadsheet. So if you look through it, it has all of our chapter applicants. It has the address, the parcel ID, and then the total acres, and then whatever acreage is classified within 61, 61A, or 61B. And then there's actually a total at the end of the report for you, just town-wide, if you're interested in that. It's 4 pages long, and the second page is in the back. And here's all the documents that go with it. I don't know if you want me to pass it around, it's all the apps.
All of them came in on time?
Yep, they were all in on time, we had no issues. I think there were maybe 3 follow-up letters that Jenny had mailed out, and those 3 did end up coming back.
Mike Stahl, 5 Lombard Road. Mr. Chair, is it possible I could get the the spreadsheet summary for the chapter 61, the listing of chapter 61 reviews. I don't want the backup, just the
Okay.
summary spreadsheet.
Yeah, I guess so.
Thank you.
Do you want that emailed or
You know, maybe we could just make a copy this evening.
just, yeah, sure,
Thank you.
yeah.
I would like a copy of this also, please.
Sure.
Thank you.
What's that
I'm trying to
game?
see for.
Oh, 11.
Good game.
Yeah, but
Let me make the copies at the end of the meeting. I just
Sure.
need a stapler remover, sorry.
I don't know. I can't believe- oh, there you go. 10:30. Looking at TV. It's only the second inning.
Alright, next, so we have discussions. So, previously, I know you guys brought up Mission E4. Jeff, are you well versed with what transpired with them?
Oh, yeah.
Somewhat, yeah. So basically, they were pulled from 3ABC exemption because it wasn't being used as a religious, building previous to them selling. And then, with that being the case, they owed taxes for last year. I don't know the exact amount, it was somewhere around $27,000, based off the property value. So in order to sell, to who they were selling to, obviously they needed a clean and clear title. So they cleared that up, they paid that amount. And then currently the property is still, it's not a 3ABC property, so they are paying taxes to the town.
The new people.
Yep, we haven't gotten anything in, saying otherwise, so I'm not sure if that's in the plans or what they plan on doing with that whole thing. So they're caught up on taxes, they're,
Now, who's the owner now?
it's an LLC, his name is Ed Lakidara.
From Bolton, right?
From Bolton, who owns the Animal Adventures place out there. So with that being said, I know that, you guys wanted to set up a time that we can go out and do an inspection with them. I've contacted, I just haven't heard anything back yet, so I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Just to do a little extra due diligence on there, without going on the property physically. I'm able to use what's called Eagle Vision, which is a software it's just a great mapping software that we have, at RRG, where we can take measurements from the satellite photos. So I was able to measure the buildings all the buildings that are on that property, and what we have on the property cards match what they have there. So as far as things like new permits, or if a new permit wasn't issued, and there was an addition, there's nothing like that.
And it has
going on.
like what's living quarters?
So-
Apartments or,
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I can't look into that, but I'm saying just from a building standpoint, on the
Yeah.
outside, the dimensions
Yeah.
that we have are accurate for that, so I'll keep you guys in the loop if we hear anything back.
yeah, 'cause we should find out what's gonna be living in and what's,
The utilization of,
Yeah.
of the buildings at hand, so.
Would it help you if, when you have that presentation settled, ready to go for the board, would you need the TV? Could you put it on the TV from your laptop or some comparable tool?
I don't have, what presentation do you want?
For example, show us how the Google Maps, or what did you make reference to?
It's called
View.
Eagle Vision.
Yeah, Eagle Vision.
Eagle View, sorry, Vision's our
Yeah.
software, but Eagle
Okay.
View.
Eagle View?
Yeah, potentially. I mean, you can also even within Access GIS, you can do measurements that are pretty spot on
Okay.
as well. I don't have a laptop that has access to that I'd be able to bring in and hook up
Okay.
to do that, but
Okay.
I mean, I could put something together for you guys if you wanted to take a look.
Yeah, if we can't get
Right.
onto the property, that would be the next best thing, right? You
Sure.
Use your Eagle Vision and then put it there, we can all just sit here and you can say, okay, this is what we're looking at.
Okay.
How's
oh,
that?
actually, we gotta do a walkthrough.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I guess I'm just wondering what, so So you're
It's
just
been a long
looking
time
for.
since anybody from the board has done a walkthrough down here. You know, see what kind of conditions the living quarters are in.
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
Warehouse, whatever
Okay.
else is going on down
Yeah, so, like I said, if I hear anything back and we can do that, then we'll take that route. If we can't do that, then in the meantime, I guess I can show you guys what's going
Yeah.
on, at least with the dimensions. And we'll go from there on that. The marijuana facilities, I'm still waiting to hear back, to see if we can get a time to set up. Right now too, it's permit season. They don't have anything outstanding for permits, but we're out and about. So this would be a great time for us to do it rather than dead of winter or,
Yeah.
you know, a time that's more inconvenient. So, once I hear back on that too, I will let you know. So that's all we have for those two. Just kinda in purgatory, just waiting to hear back. So, couple other things too, moving on to the, any other item. I just wanna use this as kind of a general discussion, so I will not be in the office on August 9th or on August 30th, this upcoming, month. I'm gonna be on vacation in the last half of the month, or last portion for that August 30th date, and then August 9th, the 7th through the 11th, I'll be taking, it's basically an assessor's course for continuing education out in Amherst, that's paid for by RRG. It's a great benefit for all the communities that we're in and for Hubbardston in turn, so that's where I'll be for that week. I'll still have access to my computer and emails and all that, but I won't physically be here in the office those 2 days. Also, this is tentative, I won't know until tomorrow afternoon, but we do have a lot of permits going on in town, and a lot of new construction. So Josh Gendron, who is our lead inspector for RRG, we're trying to set up to see if we can, on Friday, both come out here and do inspections. So that's kind of our plan. If we can put all of that together, of course, police department will be notified, we'll have the assessor's magnets on our cars, we'll have badge IDs, all that, just to make sure that everyone feels comfortable, for us stopping by to ask about the permits.
Will we be notified if we would like to attend that ride along?
We can try to do that. I don't know if Josh will allow that with himself, and then we can do that. I'm just trying to make it as
Simple as possible.
less disturbing as possible to anyone of having 2 people come up to their door unannounced or one if it's me with a badge. I mean, we could potentially make you a badge.
We have
It's-
badges.
We have
You have badges? Okay, so.
I have something to say on that, just because it is important. If there was a quorum of the board, I would need to post that with a 48-hour notice. Today is Wednesday, today would have been the posting date for that. So if there's ever a quorum, it would need to be legally posted as a meeting, even if it was like a site walk, if it was an inspection, we would need to post that legally. Just a little bit from the town clerk side, so
When did they start doing that?
forever.
Yeah.
Not
That's
really.
always a 48-hour, it's open meeting law.
When we used to go out and do the inspections, we just went and did the inspections. Never
With a quorum?
notified anybody. Well, it
Uh,
was 2 to 3 of us all the time.
Okay, so there would be a quorum, cause it's a 3-person board. 2 would be the quorum.
So no
It
rules.
has to be. They've been in effect for a long time. I think the last time open meeting law was updated was in 2017. But before that, I still believe if it was anything that had a quorum, it would have to be legally posted.
But you're not gonna run into doing inspections this 2 days from now. You're looking forward a week, 10 days, no?
No, I don't need a quorum for
Yeah.
No,
me
no, no,
to
no.
do
When
inspections.
do you
on-
anticipate doing inspections? Do you anticipate starting this Friday?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
yep. If we have some left and we don't get them all done, we could definitely set up a time next week to go out to if you wanted to, if you had any in particular that you wanted to look at, but typically, these are just simple permit inspections for measuring a new garage on the side of the house. This isn't anything going in anyone's house. It's typically just how far along are you on this new construction? You put in an in-ground pool, you know, measuring the patio, that type of thing. This isn't really site inspections in that sense, in the way that like an abatement would be.
It's like going
or-
inside the house and checking and see what kind of
Yeah, no, this is just
quality
simple,
of construction.
yeah, new, you know, reed sperry
Yeah,
shed, things like that. So if you wanted to set something up for next week, we could try to do that, but this is typically just simple, and we're probably gonna do, I'm gonna aim to probably do 25 to 30 of them throughout the day.
You move right along.
Yes. No, we get them all together, get the property cards, we set up a route that makes the most sense for the distance, and just going throughout the town, and then I will stop by. I knock on the door, give some space, ask about the permit, see if we can get that done. If yes, then we'll take the measurements and figure that out. If it's a no, then it's a no, and we just have to go by what we can see from
Speaking
either
of,
software or.
Ever heard from that guy on Old Princeton Road?
Which
With the
guy?
windows?
No, I haven't. What was that address again? On Old Princeton?
I don't know, the guy complained about, he thought he was wanted, you know, he wanted the big.
Oh, on Healdville. No, we have not heard back from him. After I sent the email and the records request, we haven't heard anything back. So, yeah, that's all I have for my stuff. And then, if there's anything else you guys wanna get into or talk about?
Do you wanna go in the walk, the window?
Well, if you,
I can't do the walk,
they would, well, then you could just,
pick up all.
you could just
Sit
ride
in the
around,
back.
you could sit in the passenger side seat and just
Yeah.
look and see what
Oh,
they're doing.
See what they is.
Yeah, if he's gonna go Friday,
Yeah.
you could do that, right? You make it up just occasionally and just kinda, okay, and go
Yeah.
back in, but if they notified you, that would be good, right?
Yeah, but you wanna go too, right?
No, you can go. You know, you can go the first time.
Yeah.
And then the next week, if I wanna go or Jeff's available, we can all three rotate. And we can go together. We'll
Yeah, give it a shot.
give it a shot, see what happens on Friday. Keep it simple.
Yeah, so what would you guys be looking to see in this process of coming along for the permits?
I used, make sure, how you measure and, my main thing would be the inside of, construction, quality, come up with a grade, A, B, C.
Okay, yeah, so nothing that we're doing is going to constitute us giving out grades.
Yeah,
on-
okay, well,
on
when you
these.
do that,
Yeah, on the newer construction?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I can keep you in the loop and see, like I said, this is all super tentative, we
Right.
still have to figure out if we're going to have everything together to do this on Friday, which I'll know Thursday afternoon, and then I can let you know in the morning, what's going on, I can give you a call. And
Yeah.
then, if we do go out and and we have our plan together, then we'll make that happen. You can ride along with me.
yeah,
and figure it out.
reason being, when you're checking on the quality of the construction, you need at least two people to banner back and forth the quality, to establish, like we used to do C, B, A, quality of the work.
Yeah, so,
Like you going out by yourself,
yeah,
that way if the owner's got a question, you got a couple people there to help answer it, instead of just one person randomly, well, we're gonna make this a B or a C, and,
Basically, what he's trying to say, I think, is, I apologize, but I'm just trying to
No.
decipher what you're saying. A second person from the board backs up whatever decisions you arrive at.
okay.
So therefore, we go in, he sits there, and. or we
people
sit
come
there.
in that,
Right.
to put in for a bid, and they ask us, at least we got a clue as to what.
We accompanied you,
Okay.
we went with you, yeah, we negotiated, we heard what your thoughts were on it.
Mhm.
This was his decision, we could understand where he came from, or at arriving with that decision based on your expertise and your knowledge of the law.
Okay.
So we could back you up just as well as we can look and say, yeah, we saw it, or John was there, or I was there, or Jeff was there, and,
Yep.
and we concurred with his opinion.
Okay, yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Alrighty.
before we move on, Rob mentioned he was gonna be out a couple of days. I'm also going to be out, the 7th through the 11th, that same week. I'll be on a cruise, so I will not be here.
Ooh.
Yeah, but just a heads up, I'm gonna make sure, I have to post that for the public anyways, for the town clerk's office, that I'm going to be closed, so I'm just gonna put it on the same notice that the assessor's office will also be closed, and I'll put away messages on both emails.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay.
I'll be up the 10th.
Okay,
It's a holiday.
great.
All right.
Wow, and you, Jeff? How about you? I mean, what the heck, I'll get it out here on the table. Just out of curiosity, did the town, the select board, or the town administrator pass along to you as the assessor's clerk when any of the files were going to be transferred to your office?
So we
Please.
have been talking about that. With that, we need DPW to do the ones, they're the ones that have to do the heavy lifting. I can't come over and bring over the files. That's not feasible. So it's gonna happen as soon as possible. I haven't been able to get in touch with Travis yet. I haven't called him. He has a very small crew. So it's just not really on the top of the priority. I run back and forth all day long anyways, so I'm okay for now. Our goal is to go through the files, make sure we have everything that we need, get it all over at once. I think we're gonna end up putting the parcels, like the ones with all the property cards in them, all those parcel folders, and those cabinets, I think we're gonna try to aim to put them out in the hallway in front of that door, where there's a bookcase right now, and we'll replace the bookcase with the two, and then put the ones that have, non-public information in them, we'll put those inside the office so they can be behind a locked door. So that's our goal. There's about 3 large cabinets and 1 small. So one of the small and 1 large will go in the office. The 2 big ones, the ones that have public info, will be on the outside.
So there's no, just to clarify, there's no talk of taking any of those files and putting them up over the fire department?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
As of right now, no.
Yeah,
It's
no.
gonna be a process to not only get everything over there physically and then organize it, but also working with the state to see if there's anything that we don't need to keep anymore. Some of these records have a limitation where if it's over 5 years, we don't need to keep them anymore. So we wanna kinda sort through and see if there's anything that we
Well,
don't need
most
to
of
be
the
holding
property
on to.
cards is what you wanna save, so.
Yeah, the property cards, definitely, if there's older ones, the other.
All the older ones are up over the fire station.
Yeah, so the newer ones aren't,
Oh, no,
the newer ones we don't need though, because in our software, we have statics of all of them, so we have collections of each of those over the years. So we need to have a physical one on file, but the idea is if there's anything that fits in between those two things, where either we have them over there or we have them online,
Yeah,
and
we
have
just
the
need
printed
something
ones.
that if somebody comes in and wants to see, go over the property card, we want it on hand.
Of course, but what I'm saying is, say you come in and you say, I want I want this property card from 2019. I can pull that up on the computer and print it in
Oh, yeah, I
20
understand.
seconds. Yeah.
Yeah, but.
If you're
but-
here.
Yeah, but given her dual hat position as the town clerk and our clerk, which I thank you for, by the way, for working here and helping, assisting us. If she were to have the property card and you weren't there, and the person coming in is on a Monday, Tuesday, or a Thursday, and you're only here on Wednesday, she could always just say, I've got it here, it's in the file, just reach over, walk to the file cabinet, get a copy here you go, making it easier for you. Or then if she says, you have any further questions, call Rob on Wednesday, he comes in on Wednesday.
Sure.
Or she could address any,
I do have access to the
right, she's,
vision too.
oh, you do?
I do. I
Okay,
have access
okay.
to all of the assessor's software and files on the computer, so I
Okay.
do have all of that available should I need it.
Okay. Cause that way, it makes it easier for you, that, you know, in the
Yeah.
long run.
I guess my point is of the whole move is there is definitely there are some things that we don't need to be holding on to anymore from a legal standpoint that are potentially in those cabinets
Yeah.
that we could clear up to make some space. Whether we just don't need them anymore because their time ran out, or there's we don't need a physical copy of it and we have access to them via Laserfiche or the software that we have. There's probably some cleaning up that we could do in there. So yeah, I mean,
So there's a physical record somewhere, but not, or
Yeah,
not
right,
digital
yeah,
only?
right now.
so we have to have a physical copy of the current record card.
Yeah.
And then we do have copies of all of the older ones previous to the software, because it would be a monumental project to try to scan all of those and organize them. So we'll always have a physical copy on deck, and then we'll have access to it online, either not only in our software but in Laserfiche, which will have all of our public records accessible for Hubbardston as well. So I think it's 5 years. So we had 2018 for property record cards to have physically. So in theory, 2017 prior could be stuffed up, over in storage is how it would work, because we'd have access to everything via static in our computers, and then we'd have the current ones in the filing cabinet.
Well, how much space are we talking about saving if you just keep it the way it is?
Honestly, it wouldn't be a whole lot, I don't
No.
think.
So
So
we could just
that's
leave the records the way they are, cause I remember when we made the switch over and George became George was your representative assigned to the board.
Yep.
Every once in a while, he'd come up with a unique property where he's like, I don't have access to the card, or it's not here, or blah, 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 and everybody pointed up over the,
Firehouse.
firehouse, thank you.
Yeah.
And it was just a little bit of consternation and whatnot, so we're not talking about gaining a lot of space if we leave everything just the way it is for now.
Yeah, and honestly, if we have the space even up there, then what's the
Can't,
purpose
cause
of
it's
getting?
illegal to go up there.
Yeah, it's not asbestos.
I'm not talking about other people going up there, I'm saying for us to keep,
Can't go anywhere.
You can't go anywhere up there.
so we don't have access to the storage in the,
Right.
above the fire
Correct.
department
Right.
anymore?
Correct, we've never had it.
That's news to me, because that's where everyone was saying we would always put
I
those
know,
items.
but it's loaded with asbestos.
Yeah.
Technically, legally, we're not allowed to go up there.
Yeah, we're not allowed to go up there.
So are these maps and documents just
In the
Sitting
file
locked,
cabinet.
locked forever?
Oh, they're in cabinets,
Unless they do some type of,
Freezing
asbestos
apparatus.
removal.
Okay, I didn't know that, so we
Yeah, I
have them,
did
but
not know that.
I can't access any of them?
We have to go back
Correct.
forever.
Okay.
That's why I understand your desire to
Yeah, I didn't know that
update
we-
and streamline, again, your records that you have there, but
Yeah.
once they're over there, they're gone.
Okay, we'll have to, I gotta see if Nate knows
Yeah,
that too,
we have
because
to
I
talk
think
to
he
Nate about that.
planned on putting stuff up there.
So it'd be better,
Right,
if-
good
for
to
this
know.
particular department, it would be better if you kept it where you could access it in the file cabinet versus.
Well, yeah, because I
Should
mean,
we
if
be
it's just
notified?
eliminated and we
What's
can't
that?
get to
What's-
it anymore, then I don't
Yeah,
understand.
right, that's
Like,
what I mean.
What
George-
is there
George
for
had that
Roman to
problem.
say?
Not much. We have one vault for the entire town. The majority of my records do take that up. That's all births, that's marriages, all of that. Those are in giant books. We have a lot of assessors records in there, old maps, old value books,
Yeah.
dating back to 1823 was the earliest one I found today. And then I also have a section for treasure collector. Those are all permanent records. It's chock full.
I kinda figured that. I just
Yeah, there's a
remember
lot.
going in every week, opening it up and, at the end of the night when we
Yeah.
closed up, put everything away.
Do you think we should be notified if they decide, or he's told that indeed those files are gonna be sent over the,
Well, they can't go
Well,
over
they
there.
can't, from what you guys are saying.
Yeah.
Legally, they're not,
right, but somehow our records from here, when they moved from here to there, got sent over to the fire department, so I'm just trying to, if he gets told this is what we're doing, we should be notified and we should
You know what, check with the fire chief,
express our dislike
Alright,
of doing this.
see what the. 'Cause I know
See what the story is with
everybody's
it.
records are up to the Board of Health, and
right.
everybody's.
Right.
Check with fire chief, and I'll also check with Nate, and see if he has any information on that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Any guidance, information, anything?
yeah, no select board has ever undertaken the, process of getting it asbestos removed.
Please,
Right.
Alrighty.
Okay,
That's all I have.
cool, thank you.
Do you want a little bit of what we've been doing in the office? I've only been with you guys for about 2.5 weeks now, but I can bring you up to speed what I've been doing. I mailed out all statutory exemption applications for FY24. Those went out last week. I'm mailing out all FY25 chapter applications either tomorrow or Monday. So those will be going out. We've been getting income and expense sheets back from everybody who received those. I got a good chunk of those last week. And we're just holding on to those until we can input the data.
Now, how many hours a week are you authorized to
Technically,
do our work?
in between 8 and 10. I do it throughout the day.
Oh, I know, but I mean, it was only like a month ago, I was talking with Brian here, he was talking 18 hours.
Well, I'm in there all day
Oh, I know
anyways.
you
I'm
are.
here full time, so
Oh, I know, but
I'm
I-
here.
strictly-
Anytime somebody calls and has a question with the assessors, I do take the question. I do work
Right.
in between departments all day long. So the work is getting done and probably more extensively than some may
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on in there in between two, but I do get it done, so don't
Well-
worry.
Well, no, I just wanna make sure.
All sales are up to date too, so everything's done.
Sure you're getting paid properly.
But yeah.
What we do, so I'm gonna assume we're not gonna be walking probably the best thing to do would be not to walk or try to push, walking the Mission E4 property till after September 1st, given your schedule and her schedule. Correct?
I mean,
Does that sound reasonable to you? To both
yeah,
of you?
actually, with those Wednesdays.
Yeah, that makes it easier for you and easier for our esteemed clerk.
Sure.
When we do walk it, could we all have a copy of that layout, please?
Yes, so
Thank
you
you.
want a copy of the map from GIS?
Yeah, that takes up a lot of ink.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know
We
about
are
that.
on a
The property-
tight budget.
The property cards, well, yeah, but yeah, there's a lot of black there, and I know from
Yeah.
buying my own ink how expensive it can be,
Yeah.
you know? So, yeah. Yeah, that would be good if we could see it. Or, you know, since you have access to that file through his assessor's department, office, if you could send us a link to that map, so
Okay.
we could actually view it on our machine, because I'm sure it's not black and white on our machines.
So it is, because I actually just took it right off of GIS. So this is available to the public 24/7.
Does it come out as green?
When I print, they do not.
But on your computer screen, it comes out green and
Yes,
colors.
it's colored on the
Right.
screen, but this
Right.
is actually just off of GIS. I just zoomed in and printed it. So you can even zoom in more. I just wanted to get the whole parcel so
Right,
you guys
yeah.
could see it. But if you go into, I think it's base maps, and then you change the layer to GIS view 21, this will pop up in full color.
If you could send us the link, whenever you can.
So I can send you the link, but it's not gonna keep the setting. That's what I'm running into.
Okay,
It's the setting that I can explain how to get to the setting, but if I send a link directly from GIS, it'll just bring you to the home page of GIS. It won't stick to what I'm trying to link it to, unfortunately.
Now, I'll ask you a real tricky question.
Oh boy. Yes.
What happened to all the computers we used to have in the assessor's office over there? what got moved over here? We had a lot of printers and several computers.
So I have.
All sorts of good stuff.
I have 2 monitors, one was mine and one is a loaner from CM Geeks. They did bring one for me so I could have 2 so I could make sure I keep up assessors and town clerk stuff. Rob's computers did move over there and we got him his printer too. So he has all of his equipment that was in that office and more. As far as anything before that, I really don't know what would have happened to any of the other computers. The desktop that Jenny was using is still in there, but I think they're going to repurpose it for another office. But all of her files are on my system, so I had them link my system with hers. So not only can I access them, but Rob
Yeah.
can too.
I was just kinda curious, we had a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
seemed to disappear.
Yeah, sure. For sure.
Well, I make a motion to, call it quits.
Second.
Question over here.
I have, Mike Stahl, 5 Lombard Road. Mr. Chair, last week, the agenda had an item, Lombard Road, but it didn't have any qualifying information or identifying what the topic was. Could that be explained by someone?
Yeah, so that was just a false step from my notes from the last meeting, when you asked about the chapter, which was signed today as well.
Okay, so there is no Lombard Road issue then?
No, there's no issue at all. It was just literally just taking the information from my notes.
I got you.
Or put it together,
Okay.
so that's, Lombard Road is all set.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got it.
All in favor?
Aye. We're out of here.
Al and Mike, do you wanna follow me over to my office
Sure.
where I can actually take out the staple without ripping the report?
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I was gonna let you know if
Can I
I
pick it
caught
up
you
tomorrow?
beforehand that.
Oh yeah, that's totally
Okay.
fine.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll
I'll
stick
have
it
it.
together.
I just didn't,
Okay.
you know,
See you tomorrow,
there
'cause I got
wasn't
other
any
things to do there.
explanation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we
Like
typically.
today?
Alright.
put an
I'll be there at
explanation
8
on
and
that.
I leave at
Or
4,
what
so I'm
the
there all day.
issue is,
Yeah. I'll
Because
stop.
there's,
Thank you.
Yep.
you know, we don't assess public property, right?
That's my pen.
Oh, there you go. That's what was confusing about it.
Okay.